Gorgeous Taylor, and I'm on to the next stage of my plotting out, or planning out, I should say, because the hero's journey in tarot. Now, before I get into the next stage of the hero's journey in tarot and outlining my novel, I had a fabulous weekend. My cousin's wedding was absolutely gorgeous. It was beautiful. She was amazing and breathtaking. My husband sang and played their first song for them to dance to. It went off awesome. He did a great job. But my cousin, oh, she was absolutely, like I said, stunning. It was beautiful. I cried. She cried. My mom cried. We all cried. Her mom was crying. It was gorgeous. I felt like I didn't really get enough time. I didn't really, it went by like so quickly. And the weekend flew by, and I am still tired. I'm still recuperating, and I'm sure she is, because today she is moving into their new place. But I'm so proud of her and so happy for her. And I don't know. I may, if pictures come up, I may end up doing a video, like a, because it is Vlogtober, and I am not vlogging every day, but I am doing some like life, a little bit of a life vlog here and there. So I may end up adding some things in there. But on to the next thing, because we're writing, and part of writing, because I was busy this weekend, I did draw my cards and write down some things when I first got this email, but I did not, however, do a video because I really just did not have time. So I had journal prompts in between, and now today is today's lesson. Today is actually lesson 12, the resurrection. And I'm a little bit behind. I have to do today's lesson and my journal prompts, but we're going to do lesson 11, the road back. But what I wanted to say is that part of, especially when you're in something like NaNoWriMo, when you're participating, is finding balance between your regular life, home, work, family, those responsibilities, along with your writing. I call it my regular life and my writing life, and have to find balance between the two, and sometimes that's difficult. I've struggled with that. I have videos where I talk about that. Other people have had several videos where they've talked about that, and sometimes it's hard. So you have to kind of find a little bit of balance. Now, this was an important event, and I knew ahead of time that I was going to be doing this. So I did a few things ahead of time so that I wouldn't be so far behind. So I'm pretty much right on schedule. Today is, like I said, lesson 12. Now, this was Saturdays, and I had a journal prompt for Sunday and a journal prompt for Friday. And I did Friday's journal prompt, and like I said, Saturday I did this out, so I'm only like a day behind, and I can live with that. What I do in NaNoWriMo, like if I know that I'm going to have a day where it's going to be really busy with my family, with regular life stuff, I try to plan ahead a little. I try to write more during the few days before that event, so that I'm a little ahead or a lot ahead, so that I don't get behind. And I'm going to do another video about things like that very soon, about things that you can do to help find balance, about things that can help you during NaNoWriMo, how to cope, how to deal, help with some stress, because I have anxiety and depression and ADHD, and that can get a bit difficult at times, especially when you're doing something that is as hectic and chaotic as NaNoWriMo is stressful. The road back. Arwen starts this with the quote, "The question isn't who is going to let me, it's who is going to stop me." Ayn Rand, The Fountainhead. This marks the beginning of the third and final act. It is also the part where the hero remembers why he or she crossed the first threshold. It is a second refusal of sorts. It is the final part of the initial call to action. The hero has to complete the journey by carrying the reward to those who need it. And the hero must also recommit to actually the hero must actually recommit to completing the journey. The hero has also been changed because of the reward and the things that led up to that. And this is also going to cause another change, because this is an event, and Arwen calls it an event with a capital E. This is the moment that will push the hero back across the threshold, forcing him or her to action and once again upping the ante. I drew, let's see if I get, there we go, the Queen of Pentacles. She's sitting on her throne. She's holding the coin, the pentacle. She's looking down at, she's got one foot on the ground and one foot propped up on her throne. There's all this pretty landscape around her. And the next card I drew was the Eight of Wands. And then I drew the Seven of Swords. And I'm going to do this without actually talking about very much what those tarot cards actually mean in regard to tarot, like the definitions when you look up in the book and it tells you about the card. I'm going to tell you what I got from the card, and a little bit of what I got from the card, it coincides with what the book tells you. So I'm not going to give in-depth detailed information about what the tarot book said about the cards, because it pretty much matched. So the Queen of Pentacles is supposed to be a representation of a mother figure, a earth mother, and to me, as soon as I saw the card, I realized this had to do with the reward and the dreamscape. In the reward, she is in that dreamscape and she is talking to her ancestor. Now, her ancestor, Scotland's mother was burned at the stake, and in order for her to live, for Scotland to live, her father takes her and they go to the colonies. Now, her mother drags things out long enough so that her child can be saved, not only because it is her child, but because this child has an important destiny. And their descendants from this child are also have somebody from this line is also an important destiny person, has an important destiny. I'm sorry, I need more coffee. She's saved. Scotland is saved. She goes to the colonies, and you know what? They're persecuting witches there too. They have to be very careful, because even as a child, she was an extremely powerful witch. Now, we find out later, I think I'm going to do a book about that character. She's part of the backstory in this book. But back then, she was, it was the craft of the wise. Scotland's mother was a healer. Scotland becomes a healer. They didn't think of themselves necessarily as witches. That was a term that society and the Christian church put on them. They were doing things that just naturally came to them. They're helping people. They're helping the crops grow. They are helping the community and things like that. So they're not riding around on broomsticks, things like that. It's not what people portray as a witch. So what my hero learns is what this started out as. She was a healer. She was a wise woman. Her lineage dates back to before all of that and goes back to the Fae. Trying to decide how big to make this world, whether I'm going to include werewolves and stuff, because my hunters are not just witch hunters. They are actual paranormal, supernatural hunters. They're going after anything and everything supernatural, paranormal. They are hunting psychics. They're hunting tarot card readers. They're hunting magicians. They're hunting anybody and everybody who remotely has any kind of paranormal or supernatural gift or power, I should say. They're going after. See, this is where I get kind of because anybody who's remotely fae, anybody who's a werewolf, lycanthrope. Okay, I got it out. So I got to do some more research with that part. But my hero, has to go to the mentor, and then she has to go to the council and the coven, and she has to talk about what she learned in the dreamscape, because she learned some extremely good information about the hunters and the society of the hunters. She's also learned, like I said, that they're not just going after witches. They're going after all kinds of people. You could be somebody who on occasion has a dream that comes true and you are up for grabs. The hunters are going to come after you. You could be somebody who sees ghosts. They're out for you too. Somebody who reads tarot cards. They're out for you too. If you are related to a line of people that lycanthropes came from, they're out for you too. Like I said, the Fae, they're out for you too. I'm trying to figure out how big to make this because I don't want to get so overwhelmed with the world building and all of that that it becomes past what I'm doing, because this is actually about the witchy business part, and I may end up doing a book about the hunters, or I may end up doing a book about the ancestor. I'm trying to get things sorted out, but right now this is about this book. So the Eight of Wands. The Eight of Wands is an action card. When I look at this, I see wands. To me, they look like staffs flying through the air, like what Gandalf had. And the Lord of the Rings, a staff. Merlin's staff. Kind of looks like that without the crystal ball on the end of it. But these wands are flying through the air. And I got from this card that war is coming. The enemy is coming. So the hunters, they're coming. That's what I got from that card. The next card I got is the Seven of Swords. And he's sneaking off somewhere. He is very sneaky. This guy is just up to no good. Those two cards, though, what they actually are supposed to represent is what motivates the hero to return. This is what kicks him over the next threshold. And the other one is shows how the shadow will attack your hero. This is his vulnerability, the soft spot in his armor. What motivates the hero to return is what she learned in the dreamscape. What her ancestor tells her about the hunters. They've been around for hundreds of years. They were around during her time when she got to the colonies, and that is now America. They have been hunting since before that. They have been all over the world. This is not just an America society. They are global. And they are coming. They are coming after everybody and anybody, like I said, who has any kind of supernatural, paranormal ability. And war is coming because things are getting worse. The society is committing murder and mayhem. They are killing anybody and everybody, no matter what they have or haven't done. And they've got to be stopped. They have got to be stopped. Yes, people need to be governed and ruled. Yes, society needs to have rules. Like Wicca has harm none. That's their big rule. That's their really only rule, is that you harm none. Now, I'm not talking about all witchcraft, because there are different types. There are gray witches. There are green witches. There are people who are chaos, which all kinds of different things. But for my book and my society of hunters, and then the witches society, I should say, what I'm going to cover is going to be a little bit different than that. I want to stay authentic, so I'm kind of staying with the basics, the core of Wicca in general. War is coming. The hunters are coming. They're coming after any and all witches, any and all psychics, any and all paranormal, supernatural beings, period. But they're especially after this family. There is a prophecy. I believe not necessarily verbatim a prophecy, but this my character has a destiny, and these hunters are in trouble, hopefully. Sneakiness. What shows that the shadow will attack the hero is when the ally who turned out to be an enemy, the traitor, when the traitor escapes, the mentor is injured and left for dead. He does not know that the mentor has lived. He's come to warn the hunters. Now, he's escaped. Like I said, he doesn't know that the mentor has been healed. He doesn't know she's that powerful. He doesn't know that she does that. He doesn't know the whole story from the enemy who turned ally. But More than that, he's gone to warn them, to let them know what's going on. They are about to attack anyway. But once he tells them that the mentor, he left the mentor for dead, they're thinking they have a much better chance now. And they do not know that she is as powerful as she is. But on the other hand, she's just been through this tremendous thing. She's got a lot going on. She's still, like I said, in the dreamscape, she's learned from her ancestor how to wield her power more. After what the mentors taught her, now she's learned just how powerful she is, just what kind of things she can do, because the mentor was limited in his knowledge of what she could do. He just knew she was extremely powerful. He could feel it, and he knew it. He just didn't, he was training her and giving her all the core concepts, the core training, and now she's had some specified training with the ancestor. So hopefully this will help. I'm not giving any real clues here, am I? Sorry. So we've got Sneaky Trader sneaking back to the hunters to tell them, hey, I'm pretty sure the mentor's dead. I left him for dead. When I left, things were in chaos. Things were falling apart in their camp. And now it's time for us to go. It's time to attack. War is coming. So we're back to the ancestor. The dreamscape has allowed my character to delve into some things a little bit more. Now it's not just about revenge. Now it's not just about justice for her family members. It's not just about justice for her parents or for her grandfather, or trying to find the witch who went with the hunter and killed her grandmother. This is no longer about just, like I said, revenge or justice. This is about saving the lives of people that she cares about, people that she doesn't even know. It's about saving people and stopping the hunters. So the road back is she's come back from this dreamscape, and she's learned new things about her line, new things about her own power and her ancestors. She's learned things about the hunters. She's learned things about witches in general. She has learned a great deal, and she's taking that forward, and she is now committed more than ever to stopping the hunters. And a benefit of that is getting justice for her loved ones. And along that road, finding the hunters means finding the witch who's with them, who's helping them. And that's the witch who killed her grandmother. So that's where we're at right now. I'm going to go do lesson 12, which is the resurrection, and I will be doing journal entries. I have a very busy day ahead of me. I will talk to you guys later. I hope you have a good one. See you soon. Bye.